Hello, and welcome back to another episode of my single-player survival world. I'm the Survival Architect, and in between episodes, I've been to the end. I was there just to collect shulker boxes. I picked up any chests that I could as well. There's a little bit of loot sitting over there, not really enough to warrant me flying all the way over there and coming all the way back. But in terms of shulker shells, I collected this many. It took 10 hours. It was a bit of a grind, but I have enough shulker shells to fill this probably twice over, and then enough to last me for the rest of this world. So I'll get these crafted up into shulker boxes now, and I will show you the result in just a moment. That's all of the shulker boxes crafted up. All of them are full, except for this last chest, which only has these 3 shulker boxes, but this should be enough to fill up the shulker box loader up there, hopefully. If it's not, then I'm going to need to go back to the end in between the next episode and spend another 10 hours collecting more shulker shells. But this is a lot of shulker boxes. These are all full. So I'll get them loaded up and then I'll be back. The shulker boxes are all loaded up. You can see that most of these chests are empty, but I have a fair few left over. So that's all set up in there. All the droppers are full, all the dispensers are full, all the hoppers are full. So it's and the input chest is also full up in here. So I can't actually access it from the outside anymore. But the next thing we're going to do is make this fully operational by putting in these tubes, support structures, I guess, some water streams. Now, thinking about it, I actually might have to make these 1 block wider so I can fit some soul sand in there, but otherwise, I should be able to do that. If I do have to make it wider, I'll show it to you when I'm done, but I'll be back in a moment with a fully activated water stream and hopefully some items being pumped from my farms that are in here straight up into the shulker box loader, which I've already set up sorting filters for, which is great. It's been actually a couple of days, but I have done a lot of work. I just kind of started doing it, and then I kept going, and then I figured, this isn't enough, so I kept going. But now there's an entire dropper line running up through the middle of this. You can hear them going. Then eventually, this is not right. They then eventually are dumped into somewhere in here and are sorted out. Now, I've also been AFK for a little while. If I go down here, and if I can find the little hole in here, you can see that I've actually got a few boxes that are completely full up of their respective item from our farms, which means that this whole system is working. Now, I have to do it on the other side for the carrot farm that's sitting in there, but I actually had a raid happen, hence why I've got Hero of the Village, and you can see I've died a couple of times, which is really annoying. I'd gone a really long time without dying, but some of the villagers in there died, so I'm going to have to deal with those, as well as some of the villagers over in my village area. They also died, which is really annoying, but it's okay. In general, this was a bit of a pain to set up. I was troubleshooting some stuff, and then I actually found that my melon pumpkin farm had broken. So I ended up ripping out the entire side of this mountain, getting it fixed. Turns out you need a chest here for this entire comparative system to work. So, whoops. But yes, this has all been done. I've now got my farms pumping their items into this chest down here. For the rest of this episode, I actually want to deal with my firework rocket situation. Ignore those. This is all I've really got for firework rockets at the moment, and I am sick and tired of hunting creepers at night to get enough gunpowder to satisfy my rocket habits. So I'm going to head out into the ocean somewhere, maybe over there, maybe over there. I don't know where yet, but I'm going to head out into the ocean and construct a general mob farm. It won't be a creeper-based farm because I don't have any cats, but it will be a general mob farm sitting out in the ocean, floating way above the ocean. I don't need a perimeter on it because this is really just a single player world, so lag isn't an issue. And I'll also slap a sugarcane farm in over there. So I'll get the resources together and pop on out, and then be back in a moment. I'm now out here on this tiny island in the middle of the ocean. Literally, it was just these 2 blocks. I've got some stuff. That Totem of Undying isn't meant to be in there. I've got some more stuff, and then my redstone bits. So, I'm going to jump into a time lapse now and construct this general purpose mob farm so I can get myself at least some gunpowder. While I've been editing this video, I've been AFK down here. I'm just jumping in post-production to say more files have corrupted. I am really quite annoyed at the moment. I need to figure out a way of making sure that my files don't get corrupted so that I can actually put in the videos what I say I'm going to put in the videos. But I've been AFK down here to tick up the XP in here, which will be the next order of business at some point. But yeah, more corrupted videos. I'll get back to you on it, but there's no time lapse for the mob farm. Yeah, it got corrupted, so I'm jumping in now, let you know that I am working on a solution and attempting to fix this. I don't really know enough. I'm trying to figure it out, but yeah, that's where the time lapse is. Let's jump back into your regularly scheduled video. The farm has now been completed. If you look in here, we've got a dark platform which can spawn mobs. And then under here is just a little clock that extends a piston over an observer. And that activates all the water going through. Now, this thing is relatively efficient when I'm AFK up the top here. This little space here is one where you can just sit in it and then nothing will spawn in the caves around you and phantoms won't spawn above you. So you're safe, and the only place that mobs are spawning is in the farm. Then they all drop out and then create something like that, which is, yeah, the noisy affair. But farm is completed. I'm now going to go AFK for something like 18 hours. I've got some other stuff I need to do. So in 18 hours' time, I'll be back to see the drops, and hopefully this will produce enough gunpowder to allow me to continue my existence for the foreseeable future. I have been AFK overnight, and the mob farm was working all night, as you can see with my hitboxes on. It absolutely pumps out mobs. That's because this AFK spot up here means that there's nothing spawning in the caves underground, so I don't have to go around and do any lengthy lighting up processes or anything like that. But I've already been down and checked about 2 hours ago, and it's pretty full, and there's a lot of gunpowder in here, so that should last me for at least a little while. Yeah, it went really well. So I'm going to pop back over to the base, make up a whole bunch of firework rockets, and fully restock this box, and I will be back with a fully filled rocket box. I'm back over at my main area, and I've done some crafting and some trading. So I've got a whole bunch more golden carrots from the villagers because I was starting to run low, so I may as well trade them up. And then I've also filled up this rocket box. Now, I also have some more gunpowder sitting in one of these chest monsters around here, but really, this is starting to turn into a true chest monster, especially with this sitting over here. Probably in the next episode, although it might be the one after that, we will be making some sort of storage system over at the main base to get rid of these chest monsters sitting around here. But it's a bit of a mess. There's just random chests sitting all over the place, and this village has been kind of blown up. But there's, I've got random stuff in all these chests, so we need to figure out what we're going to do with it all. But there's still some gunpowder left in here, and there's more left over at the farm. So I am set for a little while on rockets, as well as carrots, and yeah, it's going pretty well. Also, this guy has been sitting in here for a very, very long time. The dripstone refuses to grow and connect up because this guy is in the block space. And I think I'm just going to leave him there. I can't be bothered to move him. He's holding an item. He's not going to despawn, so enjoy that when I eventually release this world for download. Obviously, I'm not up in my main area anymore. I am now sitting underneath my cactus farm, which is underneath the base, at this furnace XP farm kind of thing. It's passive XP, it works really well. But I'm not entirely happy with the system. Like, yep, it works. I can, when this all backs up, I can grab XP out of these furnaces, and then there's also a bunch of green dye over here, and I can put whatever I want in the furnaces to smelt them, and it smelts it relatively quickly, and leaves all the XP there for me. But I'm still not fully happy with how it works, so I want to make some modifications to it by first shutting off the cactus farm, and then playing around with how it works, leaving the furnaces there, though I don't want to collect the XP yet. So, I'm going to jump across into a creative test world right now, and show you what I'm thinking about, or what I'm going to do to this, and then we'll pop back here and do it. I'm here in a creative testing world just to test some concepts for myself, but here we've got our current design, and over here is the future design. Now, I'll just quickly explain how this current design works for those who don't, or who haven't watched the video. I've got a cactus farm in this space here, and it drops the cactus into a hole, and then that gets pushed across here and ends up in the furnaces. That works really well. I don't really want to change that. What I've also got is a fuel chest sitting here, and I dump the blaze rods from my blaze farm in there, and they run across here and backfill all of the furnaces. Again, don't really want to change that because I have so many blaze rods that it really doesn't matter. What I want to change is this bottom output system. So, essentially what I'm relying on right now is this chest filling up, and then the smelted items backing up all of these hoppers, so that there is a full stack of items sitting here. I don't really want to do that anymore. It's a bit painful and time consuming, and honestly, it makes my AFK time kind of counterproductive because eventually they all just stop working. So, over here, I have a revised system. First thing to notice, I haven't changed the input system. I've just moved where that chest is because I can. Now, around the back here, I have these repeaters locking these hoppers. That means that there will be no items in these hoppers, but there can still be a full stack of items in here. Because when a hopper is locked, it doesn't take items out, doesn't push items anywhere, it just sits there as a normal block. Now, this hopper line at the bottom runs right across into this dropper, which then drops all of the cactus green it receives into lava, which is just hiding under that stone slab. That's just using a basic comparator clock on this hopper here, and that detects items coming through to activate the dropper. So, around the back here, you can see I've got this redstone block, which is currently being extended by a sticky piston that is being powered by a redstone torch, which is underneath that block. Over here, I have a T flip-flop. So whenever I activate this, it moves that redstone block across, and then activates this redstone line, which turns off that redstone torch, which retracts the piston, and that pulls the redstone block back across. Now this unpowers the hoppers, and allows items to flow through them, which it will then do, and flow across here and get dropped into lava. So, that's the basic system and how I want it to function. Again, not changing this top bit. I really like it. It works really well. But this bottom system doesn't work well at all. So, it's been revised. I am now going to jump back onto my single player world and fix it. I probably won't have this long redstone line at the back. It'll probably just be powered in here. But either way, that's the revised system. Now, the other thing I want to explain is this T flip-flop. Essentially, it uses this button to power this redstone line, turning off the torches, and then reactivating the pistons. Updating the pistons, which then moves this redstone block back and forth, so I can power things without flicking a lever, and it's just that little bit more clean. Also, I can move this button pretty much anywhere I want. I just have to slap the redstone line a bit further along. So this will still work. Well, yeah, this will still work. So I'm going to jump back onto the survival world and get this set up, as well as decorating the room that it's in, because I've finally decided on a style that I want for my base. I am now back on my single player world, and it is time to jump into a third-person time-lapse to get this whole thing constructed. We're going to upgrade this system, as well as decorate the room around and make it look like the laboratory style that I have decided for my base. So let's jump into that time-lapse now, and I hope you enjoy it. And there we have it. This is the main furnace room, and as you can see, I've decorated it in kind of a laboratory style. But you can see that all the furnaces are burning away. Their items are being dispensed into lava, and if I come over here and press this button, they'll then back up. That activates the repeaters back there, which you can see, and locks all these hoppers. But all in all, this is going pretty well. Yes, I have decorated this in a kind of laboratory style. I'm not sure about this ice, but I'll keep it for now and figure out how the rest of my base goes. Also, the fueling system, upon further consideration, it's going to get a revision in the next episode. Not right now, though, because I don't have enough iron for it. So, that's this bit done. Now I'm going to pop back up. Oh, also, I captured a pillager, pacified him. He's now sitting down here again for use in the next episode. But he's just sitting here. I put a hole in the wall like this, and then put a bit of cobblestone and a slab here, and stuck him in there, and then stood here, and he shot this slab here to attempt to hit me, didn't hit me, and then his crossbow broke. So now I have a pacified pillager as well. But yeah, this is one of the last times you'll see this room. I probably won't come down here that much, apart from to repair my tools, but I'll occasionally show it on camera. Also, I haven't figured out an entrance in here, so that will come when I figure out the rest of my base. What? Another one? Really? For another one of these mysterious lectern things. I've still left that one up there. There was another one that sitting over there, and then I took down the one that was sitting at my my nether portal. But what is this? What have they got for me this time? The mysterious overlords of this world. I don't know what they are. It's really annoying me. But they've said to me, they've given me some coordinates a very long way away, and they say we have a task for you. Is this going to be another farm, or what are you making me build? Okay, let's head over to those coordinates. Where are they? Are they... No, they're this way somewhere. Okay, we're going to fly over to those coordinates now, and we will see what they've got for me. We're coming up on the coordinates now. You know, I've got a funny feeling that the pillager outpost with a lectern on top of it is what I'm looking for. Okay, here we are. I've got a funny feeling this is what we've been sent here to find. If I target block, yeah, that's the coordinates. So, what have they got to say to me here? Totems of Undying. I've got some of those. I have 3 of them back at my base from that raid that I did. Yes, they're essential for my survival. They stop me from dying when I'm close to dying, which is probably useful. I need to build a farm for them. So I'm guessing that would be a farm for these guys in the next episode. And I need to deliver 100 of them to whoever these people are at that bedrock hole back at spawn. I'd assume, considering that, you know, that massive... Oh, that's where I put the dripstone when I had collected all that. And it needs to be done by the end of episode 12. Okay. Or there'll be consequences. Okay. Well, I know what I'm doing in the next episode. But, I mean, that's not the only thing I have to do. I have other stuff to do, guys. Come on. This is kind of irrelevant. I could just... Anyway. So, this is over here. I'll have to set up some nether portals for it. But... Oh, and there's a gravel area right here. That's actually kind of helpful. I'll bring some shulker boxes over here and collect a whole bunch of gravel. But yeah, we'll be over here in the next episode to convert this into a pillager farm. I'm pretty sure you can get Totems of Undying from these guys. I hope you can. Otherwise, I'm going to fail this mission. With that, I'm actually out of time. Video time for today's episode. It's been an incredibly productive day. We upgraded the passive XP farm that's in here as well as decorate it. We made this shulker box loader functional by putting a item dropper up there and then having it spit the shulker boxes down into those hoppers, which have been running like mad. And we also built a passive mob farm way out in the ocean over here. I'm not going to fly out there to show you. You've already seen it in this video. But it's been really productive and a lot of fun for me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to see more content from me, you can subscribe to the channel if you'd like. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.